The elf was in another of his moods. The League's order was too big, or they hadn't been polite enough when they spoke to him, or it was cold out, or his underwear didn't fit right. Didn't matter. The result was the same. He was insufferable. Disturbing the customers, stomping around like he owned the place, though, to be fair, he did. Barging in on the Oblivion rooms, screwing with her inventory, screaming at her with that shrill, chemically altered voice. Shoria couldn't take it anymore. She wondered if anyone would miss him. He never left the Reaver unless the League made him make a house call. Barely even left the lab. She didn't think he'd been outside in the light of day even once during her tenure. He was a hermit, an unstable, obnoxious, forlorn little ancient hermit, and no one would miss him if one day he just... She had to be practical about these things. He never seemed to sleep. He'd been the same insufferable monster for longer than her parents or grandparents had been alive, and none of the dozens of assistants who came before her had ever managed to kill him. Shoria didn't doubt they wanted to. Anyone would, after spending enough time with him. So what accounted for his survival? It couldn't be the League's protection. He was there long before they needed him. Maybe it was the fluids, honestly. She'd heard rumors about the stuff. Take a dose and it might melt your bones, kill you instantly. But it might transform you, make you into something greater than yourself. A horrible little elf man who never stopped complaining and couldn't die. It would be just her luck to try to assassinate a man only to find out that he couldn't be killed. No, caution was the way to go. Keep making her money as long as she could stand it. Let him be just as awful as he pleased, and hope someday Xiphus saw fit to solve the problem for her. This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that heals the demon first, even when party members are near death. I'm your host, and here's everyone.
We're kind.
If anything, it was a testament to the strength and fortitude of
Jeff
Tarazi and the silent composure with which he suffered. Also, Alwyn could be a demon. We don't know.
That's true. We've never seen Alwyn and proof he's not a demon in the same room at the same time.
Hello.
There's nothing demonic about him in the slightest.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Last week on the program, the party went to bed. Well, actually, before they went to bed, they had to deal with the demon that they had freed from a prison of virtual reality or whatever. So they healed his mind of the feeble-minded condition and all of his wounds as well, because, they're nice. And then he was rather shocked to find that he was free. He had to check the air for invisible walls, as one does. And then the party was like, hey, what are you going to do if we let you go? And he was like, probably leave. And they're like, that we're going to kill you if you do bad stuff. And he's like, well, I am a demon. And they're like, yeah, but still. And he's like, oh, fine. And then he left. I feel like that was a pretty good summary of that situation. After that, the party went to sleep, had a quiet night, and resumed their preparations for going to Starfall, which included another quick trip to Torch just to get some fake IDs forged and some hats of disguise, because they may be wanted for murder. After that, they popped back over, got in line for the gates of Starfall, got to see the, army of defensive robots that are just checking to make sure everything's on the up and up, paid the toll to get in, declared that they had no technology with a very effective lie, and got into the city. After which, Brixby linked everyone's thoughts together, so they all got to bear witness to Kira's explosion of tourist excitement. And that's where we are now.
Well, I think you should just get the I Heart Starfall and Starfall is my home mugs. Just buy both of them. They're great. I'm sure your sisters would love them. It's just as good as actually leaving Torch.
You think they would love them? Because maybe I should get something else. What about this I Love Starfall hacky sack?
Right.
From the 90s.
That's good. Yeah. There's these devil sticks over here that says, and I had a better time than you on the tassels.
I have better. My life is great.
The heart symbol on all of those is just like a gearsman head, right?
I Gearsman head Starfall.
Well, we could go see Kill Mockery.
If he just goes by Mockery, Drow Mock.
Mockery. Yeah, that's what it is. We could go see Mockery.
Shouldn't we try to find Vargas first?
I suppose I just envisioned it would be easier in a city of this size to see if he's heard of a surly person with one arm or knows anything about. Could you possibly give us some more information? I worry the city is huge, and the deeper that we dig, the more, like, two guards walk by, the more attention that we draw. So,
Plus, Connor said Vargas left with that important guy, that Gartone. So if he's anywhere, it's probably somewhere that we can't get to very easily right away.
yeah. So,
Maybe we should try yelling. It worked for Jeff.
unfortunately, our modus operandi here is not us. We are extremely... I almost said the word doable. I was like, what's different than capable? Because I was like, it's capable, it's doable, but the extremely doable form is definitely not
doable.
Extremely doable. The achievable four.
Let's see. The competent quartet that we are. And while we're in this stealth mode, we probably should not yell. Doable for. It's bad. But I want to find him as badly as you do, Big Stuff. I just think that Connor's friend might have maybe some more information. And we can even try to go see Madball later. It'll just be a little dicey with the whole disguise thing.
Is that the person you said is your friend, but not really your friend?
Yeah, they're more of a business associate, but they do sort of owe me one too, so just hold on to that shit until we actually want to cash it in.
We get some bread, too.
I like bread.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's like a technological bread shack around here. Ted's Technological Bread Shack. It's actually like a well-known bakery chain here.
I know them.
Robo croissant.
Ted's Technological Bread Shack. Get a gear in every bite.
It's right next door to a dentist they have a partnership with. Because of
Ow.
all the metal and bread.
The old formula was better. It was multiple gears per bite. I mean, like, you had no teeth by the time you were done. But, yeah, we could pick up some bread.
Okay, I know talking to these people and everything is much more important, but I just want to get a piece of bread.
I really need some bread.
All right. Multiple loaves of comfort bread.
Is this carbo loading, guys?
Fair.
His hat of disguise makes him a runner.
If I see anybody from the list of outsider, at one point, Brixby may want to go and talk to them, like a tiefling or a Suli or whatever. But that's the only thing that he'd be interested in doing while we were walking.
Let's go with a D100. Just do a luck check here.
33.
I'm going to say the streets seem to be very low on planar scions just now.
That's fine.
If we can find somewhere to get some bread when we stop, I can maybe give you a little bit of hair if you think that would work. I'm something called a Nephilim, I think. If Mother Lucia's right. Does that work? Asimir?
Asimar. Nephilim. Yeah, that would work. That would be fantastic, if that's all right. If I could just have a small bit of your hair. I just feel a little bit better not using illusion magic and actually being closer to what I want to look like. So yeah, let's go to Ted's Technological Bread Shed. That is definitely what it is. Ted's Technological Bread Shed.
Bread shed. Awesome.
And Supercuts combo. It's kind of like when you see the combination Taco Bell and Pizza Hut, but it's a haircut.
And it's a tiny little shed that's just leaning on an enormous machine.
Yes. I imagine Supercuts is just the name of some Binox-style creature that just...
Binox 2.
Just the hair robot from Futurama.
Every hand is scissors. So you find yourselves at Ted's Technological Bread Shack. Should be easy enough to locate. We'll say he's over in the Killbox slums. He runs an everyman establishment. Anybody can go to Ted's.
Mm-hmm.
I worry that they make the bread out of the hair if this is the district that we're going to.
We've seen Lemiz knows that if you want good bread, you have to go to the slums. Yeah, Alwyn will buy a loaf of fresh bread and put it in his bag, and then get a lock of his hair cut to give to Brix.
Thank you. Brix is going to hold on to it if he needs to look like someone else.
Just turns him into Alwyn and he gets arrested.
Oh, no.
He turns into an extra monstrous version of Alwyn. The trait followed the hair. All right, so what's the plan? What are we doing in this city? I'm going to just pop you to a scene for atmosphere, just give you some buildings and stuff. These don't necessarily correspond to any specific places. Just
Was Mockery in the slums? Where did Connor say he was?
I don't think he specifically said where in the city Mockery was.
Yeah.
He may have said that Mockery would find you.
Yeah, didn't he? Did he say something about night markets like they had in whatchamacallit too?
Yeah, he said there are night markets, which is the only way you can really buy and sell technology in Starfall, because technically, from a legal standpoint, all technology in the city belongs to the Technic League.
Connor didn't really say where we could find that friend of his, but he did say that he's involved in the night markets. So maybe we should find somewhere to stay and then go out again at night and see if we can find him.
Yeah, so we do, if we rent like a room, right, we have to ascribe to looking a certain way every time we walk in and walk out. But I can't really think of an alternative until maybe we get in with this Mockery or someone else could possibly give us a little bit more privacy. So I think we do have to probably rent a room.
Yeah, because I feel like if we're going in and out of the city every day, eventually somebody's gonna roll a perception on us or something, and
Yeah, I don't want to impose on Mad Boy. Plus, seems like somebody who sleeps in a race car bed. So I don't even know. This is a place that might have a real race car with a mattress in it. So
He actually sleeps in a big bed with his wife.
So yeah, is there any sort of inn or local house, pub around us that allows folks to stay at there? Should we roll a knowledge local to know this, or?
Oh, I have that one.
Yeah, if you want to roll knowledge local or diplomacy to try to find a place to stay.
Does intimidate work?
Intimidate might work, but it might draw some attention.
I hate not drawing attention.
3-1 diplomacy.
31 diplomacy? Yeah, that should be plenty to locate any manner of places to stay. Now, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. And I think Alwyn's a good enough talker that he gets some locals going on like various different options from the flea-laden hellhole to the more luxurious apartments.
I think we want something kind of more on that end. Because I feel like if we get something skeevy, they're going to pay less attention to the people coming in and out than if we get something nice. So I feel like we would want like the cheaper, scummier option.
I almost feel bad asking you to intimate this because you probably don't understand what I'm saying, but yeah, tell them you have plenty of business you don't want to be seen doing. Or where somebody could come and go without being seen. Or who they're with. They'll fill in the blanks.
I have some possibly illegal things I want to do.
No, he doesn't. He just kind of repeats what Brixby said. Just says,
We're looking for somewhere we can stay that's maybe kind of clandestine, where people might not ask a lot of questions about who's staying there. That sort of location. And maybe not too expensive either.
Well, I think those two ideas go hand in hand. You'll find plenty of establishments over in the kill box, and the person you're talking to will describe the twists and turns of the very poor urban planning that involved to get to a couple different establishments over on the west side of the city. And he'll be like, generally speaking, the authorities don't go west of the Street of Lights if they can avoid it. So don't draw too much attention to yourself, and you should be fine and dandy over there.
Thank you, slightly skeevy stranger.
Over this slightly skeevy stranger's shoulder, you can see like a poster saying wanted for questioning by the Technic League, with like a little drawing of that's clearly supposed to be Brixby.
but they got it so bad that it looks like his current disguise instead of him.
Yeah, it looks exactly like Stuart Little.
Oh no! It doesn't sound like they're a slightly skeevy stranger anymore. It sounds like they're a slightly skeevy friend. Giving you some, a little bit of insight into the city.
Aw, skeevy friend.
Yeah, but he will share that info with the rest of the party about how the League doesn't tend to go, you said, to the west of the Street of Lights.
Yeah.
And that we could find lodging that way that should be pretty good for what we want to use it for.
I don't need fancy digs.
Do they put chocolates on the pillows?
If you find a chocolate on the pillow, I would advise disposing of it and turning the pillow over.
And setting the pillow aflame.
Just a pro tip from a local.
Actually, like 200 bed bugs in the shape of a chocolate.
Thank you for the tip, Skeevy Wonder.
Oh. So, to the kill box then.
To the kill box.
Just a normal name for a place.
Totally normal name.
You can imagine we went to the kill box to eat and do the haircut, then went back to the Street of Lights to ask where to stay, and now we're going back to the kill box.
I mean, the kill box is just like a swath of slums And it's like densely populated, soot-covered streets with like small little shacks all leaning on each other, and some more permanent buildings that kind of make up like the centerpieces of given blocks, but all the roads are narrow and winding, like people have kind of improvised the ways to get through, so it can be difficult to navigate. And there are a lot of people here, but they don't seem like the type of people who are paying too much attention to the people around them. They got other stuff going on. They got other worries in their lives.
I am loving the constant rolling smog haze. It's really
It's nice.
filling my lungs with like a Dickinsonian dystopic. It's really got me.
No, it's definitely on brand for how I'm imagining this city.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, yeah.
This makes me want to go out on the moors and wail.
So is a lot of the smoke like coming in from the Gritforge district, or are they just like burning stuff to stay alive?
It's coming. Some of it's coming from the Gritforge district, but there are also these large smokestacks dotting the city, which are just like constantly spewing smoke in a way that's reminiscent of the smoke, the choking tower, but not as intense. There's just like 15 or 16 of them, and they're all concentrated more on the southern side of the city as opposed to the rich part. So just like a lot of burning and a lot of smoke going around. And while I think of it, why doesn't everybody make me a fortitude save?
Oh no.
This is why he made us get rid of our tech, so we can't be wearing masks.
Is this a disease?
It's not a disease.
Alrighty.
The pea soup fog.
It's a 13.
Brixby is sickened by the smoke.
6B. Oh, 6B.
A 13 on the die for a 21.
Alwyn's fine.
Yay.
So is Kira with a 33.
Yep, totally fine.
First roll the up, natural 20 for a 38.
All right, you're solid.
Need better fortitude.
And Rusty's a statue, so he doesn't need to roll.
Statues are extra sick.
Can this be like removed with like remove sickness sort of stuff? Or is this like, or like a poison? Can I roll something on it?
Yeah, I mean, this is effectively a poison effect. So anything that could remove or delay a poison effect would help. But for the time being, you're sickened for 24 hours.
24 hours.
Does he mention that he
Yes.
feel?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, in that case, Alwyn would pull out the extend mathematic rod and cast delay poison communal just on the whole group.
Isn't that hours per level? Like,
With the rod, it is, yeah. Delay poison communal, it is. So it's 1 hour per level divided between us. So I was gonna say 3 hours each, and then another that, and then one left over that's would go to somebody random. But with the extend, yeah, 7 each.
I am non-6B for now. But thank you to Alwyn. But I will be sick again later.
Yep.
So much passive vomiting.
So, yeah, we've got a bread. I've got some hair. Let's go find a place to stay. What sort of colorful names of establishments do we see here?
Man, you're making me have names.
The adjective noun. Sorry, I was just giving you a template. That's not the name of a place.
Oh,
It's fine. No.
No, it's absolutely a place.
oh yeah, there's the adjective
No.
noun. There's the
That's where we're staying.
the curious parrot. You got the tarnished tooth over there. You got the dynamic apple. You've got the bronze pony, and behind the bronze pony you have the horses, and then just like the drawing of a back of a horse. You know, you get it.
We'll do the affable android. Or the adjective noun. Whichever one is, got better rates.
Weirdly, the affable android is run by humans, whereas the adjective noun is run by androids.
But are they affable?
Neither one is affable, unfortunately.
All right, big stuff. This adjective noun place would probably have better merch if you wanted to, pick up a gift. Seems like it would be an ironic shirt.
Oh, I love irony as a teen. Let's check out the adjective noun.
Personalized greeting, visitors. Welcome to the adjective noun.
A T-shirt with like an off-model Kevoth Cool with a different country's flag behind him.
Hi, can we have a room or some rooms? An undetermined amount of rooms.
How many rooms would you like?
Oh, 1 room to possibly 4 rooms. Who can say?
How many beds are in one?
And the two identical twin androids look at each other, and then they look back at you, and they speak in unison, of course. And they say, "We can provide you with up to 3 rooms with single beds, or 2 rooms with 2 beds each."
I think the second one makes more sense for us. We'll do that.
Let's do an additional single room for Kira. Rusty and Tarazi get one. And you and I are bunking up.
That sounds good.
2 double occupancy room descriptions, and 1 single occupancy room description.
And also this Kira-sized I got prepositioned at the adjective noun. I find that very funny.
They give you the keys that each of them, weirdly, each of the keys just says room number on it instead of having the actual number. So it's a little bit of guesswork as to which room is opened by which key.
Is this a puzzle?
But
We haven't done a puzzle in
It's just
so
a
long.
disconcerting sound of everybody trying everyone else's handles or doorknobs everywhere.
Yep.
No, are they like key cards, or are they actual physical keys?
Oh, they're heavy skeleton keys. They just have little tags on them that say room number, but don't actually have a room number on them.
So yeah, we spend 2 hours figuring out which rooms are ours.
I'm going to need intelligence checks.
Kira's convinced it's a riddle and is like, okay, if we face to the east and Brixby, you stand over there, and I think you're supposed to turn around 3 times. It says Tarazi's room will be the room with no door. Oh.
Maybe one of them only tells the truth and one of them only lies, and we have to ask them questions.
Kira starts asking questions.
Drowsy just picks a lock to a room with a 35 disabled device.
Shuts the door behind him.
You successfully pick the rather crappy, mostly just for show lock.
All right. Well, let's leave nothing here. This should just be a place where we used to rest and go back to. Maybe don't sit on any surface for too long. Unless you brought your, delicious, delousing, deluxe flavor goo tubes. Which he slurps. Because Brixby kind of constantly has to be deloused as the only party member with fur. It's rough out there.
I assume he just casts prestidigitation on himself.
Yeah, but with a little bit more horse medicine, chewable horse medicine going on there.
Mm-hmm. Rest ivermectin.
Prestidigitation pills. Which is a $1 billion idea.
I know just the person to propose it to.
So when Alwyn and Brixby get into their room, Alwyn is going to sit down at I'm assuming there's a rickety little table in there with one chair with one of the legs is too short, and takes out the piece of bread from his handy haversack and just does like a little silent prayer over it, and then he starts eating the bread just kind of quietly at the table.
It's the first time that I've seen you go for solid bread over liquid bread, and holds up a beautiful bready gutu.
It's because it's the 31st. Thank you for reminding me, by the way.
Is that like bread day?
Oh, that's my birthday.
Oh my god. And our mental bond is still active.
Yeah, Kira's saying the same thing
So
at the
he
same
immediately
time.
It's Alwyn's birthday.
You just hear like muffled screaming, like outside and around the hall. Kira has begun murdering dozens of people in celebration.
I was half expecting Kira to just like Kool-Aid Man through the wall between the
I was gonna
rooms.
say.
Here I was going to say never skip bread day.
Yeah, he'll say, and I guess he'll do it over the mental thing now that he hears everybody else like screaming over it. Like,
I didn't know it's that big of a deal, but I always, Mother Lucia always used to bake me a loaf of bread on my birthday, and it was usually the only time I didn't eat fruit. So I try to keep doing it if I can remember, but I don't always remember the day. So thank you again, Brixby.
Of course. I mean, like, we usually just get like this big piece of cheese with a bunch of bugs stuffed into the holes. It's absolutely delicious. It is really what we look forward to all year. But I've even heard of some of the like Taldanes taking the bread and making it sweet, and then putting like the Galtons, they do the fancy stuff with the shiny things, and it's all sweet. Would you like something like that? Do you like sugar? You eat fruit, but I mean like...
All about fructose.
I don't really like cheese or anything else that's made from animals like that.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about giving you bug cheese. That's mine. I'm talking about getting you what they call a cake. It's like if bread got really kind of sweet and softer and wore sugary little soft hat of flavor.
That does sound good. I do like sweet things, but I normally just eat a loaf of bread.
Well, you still can, and I don't want to, but also traditions evolve, right? And you can honor what you did and continue to do what you were doing. You can eat that entire loaf of bread if you would like, but you also have us now. And we want to help celebrate you. And you can integrate those traditions or you can keep them separate, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. But as long as you're adding new ones as well.
Let's get this weird guy a
Yes.
cake. Sorry, I got excited.
yeah. You know, Kira's saying that in their mind, I'm assuming. But yeah, he'll say,
That could maybe work. You helped me remember and everything. Hold on a second.
and he's gonna take his book out, and he opens it up, and at the very back, he takes out this, like I said, he's got this like really old, flimsy looking sheet, and he says,
You gotta be careful because I don't know why, but it doesn't stay together very good anymore. But this is Mother Lucia,
and he points at, there's two like drawings, like shoulder up portraits on it, and he points at one of like this like dark-haired young woman that looks kind of a little bit like him, and it looks like it's been like not exactly erased because it's done in like ink and charcoal, not like erasable pencil, but it looks like it's been like redrawn multiple times. And then he points at another one next to it of this other woman that is like just like stunningly beautiful, and also looks a little bit like him.
And that's Mother Eowyn.
And that one is like perfect drawing with no erase marks or redraws or anything.
That's my mother's, and I don't usually share this picture with people, but you all have been such great friends, so I wanted you to see them.
Well, thank you. If I could ask, why is Mother Lucia's likeness, why has it been redrawn, while Mother Eowyn's appears to be more preserved?
Well, Mother Lucia drew both of them, and she said that the first few that she drew of herself, Mother Eowyn didn't like, because she said she made herself look ugly.
Well, this is very special. It's rare that you get a likeness that is drawn by the person who wears it. Glad that you've been able to hold on to this. You should do everything you can to protect it.
I do.
And he puts it back in the book, and as he does, you see on the back side of it all these little tally marks, and you figure that's what he was marking in the morning when you reminded him of the day.
Is that how old you are?
Yeah, I make another mark every year. I don't always remember, though.
Just an estimate. How many are on there right now?
Few?
And he kind of flips it around to you, and there's a lot.
More than Vargas, though.
Like, way more than you would expect for someone who looks like he's like 17.
Well, I see a lot of experience, wisdom. So much more for that to gain now, in this stage of your life. But let's go get you a cake. Come.
Hey, that sounds very good.
He puts the book carefully back into his bag and heads out with Brooksby.
And we're going to go find Jake's Cake Hovel. Another well-known. Solely in the, this specific district in the kill box. But, yeah, no, if you've never had one of Jake's cakes, it looks terrible on the outside. Both the hovel and usually what you get, but it's what inside. And kind of puts his arm around Aloe, and it's what's inside that counts, right? Not how we look.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And you see him, like, really smile, like, real big when you say that. Because that reminds him of things that other people have said that didn't hear very often. When he did, it was very good.
Well, it's true. Let's make sure they have either of you two been to Jake's Cakes? No, of course you haven't. But I mean, I know they have them in the airport and the Torch outlet mall. And they also do pop-ups sometimes. Birthday parties. Divorce parties.
Do you think they make borscht?
Oh, yeah, probably like a borscht bunt.
I was thinking like a dessert borscht, but yeah, that's the same idea. A bun.
In the bunt, yeah, it's got it's a hole.
A borscht that's so thick a candle will stand up in it. Yeah, so takes a little while, but you find Jake's Cakes, which is, you go in a door and basically the entire back wall of the building is this huge machine painted powder blue with a bunch of like windows in it with different cakes in them. And up at the top it says, Jake, jerry-rigged automatic cake engine. Cake spelled with a K instead of a C.
Sky metal.
And, and there's prices on each of the cakes, little coin slots for you to put them in. It's like an automat from the 60s. Mm-hmm. It's the restaurant of the future, but it's just cakes.
You can see if you push down this little flap here and push your nose up, they allow you to smell the cake before you buy it.
You can stick your whole head in there.
Yeah, they don't like it if you try to taste through the little smelling hole, but
Oh, okay.
And he will sniff at a borscht cake.
Just trying to pull the doors open.
I like this one.
And it's literally just the first one.
well, I'll let you have a bite of my tremendous taco tort. Puts in a coin, pulls it out. That's the Fiesta of Flavor start.
It's like a Choco Taco.
Yep.
Medieval Choco Taco.
Folded up. It's huge. Size of a big flat cake.
Rip Choco Tacos.
Oh, I know.
Gone too soon.
Oh, that's right. They stopped making those. I forgot about that.
I sure did.
Yeah. So, if like, does that imply that it's like chocolate taclets? Or is it because, like, if it's Choco Taco, is it like even shortenings? Anyway, let's cut that out. I'm clearly. This Jake's Cakes, man, they're going to love how much we've pushed the plot in the last 49 minutes.
I mean, we're
Fake
ahead of the last
episode.
6 episodes. This is book 5, everybody.
Just a lot of banter.
The banter book, well known at the
You
Paizo
put us in a
offices.
city and gave us nothing to do. We're going to make up banter.
It's world building.
It is true.
Yeah. We're going to visit every business in this city, and they're all going to have alliterative names.
Exactly.
You just instantiated a outlet mall in Torch after 200 episodes. I mean, book 5's a gift.
We've made it this far. We get a little bit of irresponsible, reckless world building as a treat.
As a
This
treat.
is what we all deserve.
I'm just impressed Stride Right opened a location there.
Yeah, we eat our weird vending machine cakes, and Alwyn will share his little portraits with Tarazi and Kira the same way he did with Brixby, and say thanks to them for doing the whole thing, because, like, and I think he'll even say, like,
Normally, other than Mother Lucia, my birthday wasn't a super special day. There was another day before I was born where apparently some very important stuff happened in the colony, and that was usually our only real holiday. We didn't do birthdays. So, thank you all.
Sounds like we have a lot to make up for.
Happy birthday, Alwyn.
Happy birthday, Alwyn.
What sort of cake did you guys get?
I was hoping we could just breeze through that because I didn't think of a cake. And borscht was already taken.
you might have 2 borscht cakes. Maybe they're like in one of those spiral things where it drops out and there's another one behind it.
Breezy, banana bum.
Behind the machine is just a guy named Jake with a bunch of stuff. He just has to
Being
keep
really stressed out.
refilling them. Yeah, he's
He's got 3 arms and they all hold cigars that he can just, like, at any time.
Jeremy Allen White pops in and yells at him a couple times.
I think Tarazi finds a cake that is filled like a jelly donut, but instead it's filled with goo tube.
God.
So you get all the good cake on the outside, and you just bite into it, and it's just goo tube on the inside.
Kira,
Did they, like, shell the goo tube first? Or is it,
the
like,
loose
is
tube.
it still...
I hope so.
There's just goo
You
tubes
gotta
inside
bite
it,
through.
still sealed.
Or is it like a soft shell crab situation? Like when it cooks, you can just go.
It's just no, it's injected. The goo tube
Oh,
contents.
okay. Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Kira approaches Tarazi in tears and is just like, Tarazi, I'm so sorry that you got the worst cake. How could they do this to you?
Oh, you don't understand. I chose this one.
Are you grieving still? And we'll just burst into tears. Everyone's sad about the cake.
Are you upset that I got the last one and you couldn't get one. I would have let you try it. I didn't know.
How could you? No.
Passers-by just watching as this party consumes their cake / cries about cake in the streets.
I feel like there's always a little weeping around Jake's.
It's true.
I mean, you're ordering that many cakes. Something's up.
Great, we're trying not to draw attention to ourselves.
I was gonna say, are these like little personal cakes, or are we each eating a full size like
Oh,
cake?
they're absolutely enormous.
Each one is like big enough to cater a wedding.
That's a natural 18 for Kira's fortitude save.
The android
Against
followed you from
Nazis.
adjective noun, and they're just like, I see you are celebrating a special occasion. Heartfelt message for your significant date.
Thank you very much.
Brixby's in awe of Kira's natural teen prowess of eating cake with that natural 18 on the fortitude. Brixby has to passively vomit up a little bit of his bug cheese because he had to get something
Gotta
that
make some
reminded
room.
him of. Yep. Again, that's just like a big cartoon round of Swiss cheese with bugs in the holes. It's canonically what they eat up there in Chitterhome. Right in, James Jacobs. We've already recorded the episode. It's canon.
As Jeff said in the chat, the Chitterhome chirping cheese.
Oh no. Oh, God. I didn't read that, but it just made my whole body ripple.
Yeah, the first thing I was thinking of was the chirping cheese, and I'm like, oh,
Just a chewy chunk of Chitterhome chirping cheese.
Yum.
All right. So now that everyone is going into a sugar coma, you've got cake, you've got bread, you've got hotel rooms that you don't trust.
Now it's time to start the episode.
It is funny how this like mirrors how a lot of my vacations start, where I'm just like, all right, we found the hotel room. Now let's go eat. Let's go eat again. Right after eating.
You wanted to go to the night market?
yeah. Do we want to wait for that, or do we want to like go and try to gather info and try to find him that way? What do we think is the better way? Because I feel like finding Mockery is because that's really the only lead we have, but I just don't know what the best way to do it is.
I would like to try to actively find them, because if Mockery can find us, then we're doing something very wrong. Unless they're like a Aeon or something that can just determine our true nature. But I don't know. You're the diplomacy machine.
Yeah. I guess I can.
Well-
That's diplomacy, right? Gathering.
Yeah, anybody who wants to gather information, you can roll diplomacy, see if you can find anything out.
That is a 12 on the die for a 28.
Yeah, you can roll a D100 on the rumor table.
That is an 89.
Ooh, 89, that's spicy. Well, with an 89, I don't think you hear any word on Mockery, but someone confidentially takes Alwyn aside and goes, "Did you know that something inside the Silver Mountain has awakened? I heard down at the bar
Ooh.
that there's some kind of ghost in there from another world."
Did you happen to hear anything about what this ghost is doing that let people know that was awake?
I think it flies out at night. It flies out of the mountain in the night, and it's he thinks for a second. He like snaps his fingers, and he's like, it kidnaps people. It's a ghost that grabs people out of their beds in the night, and it flies them back up into the mountain.
Credible.
He will definitely share that with the rest of the party, because we all know Unity's on his mountain. So
Yeah, but you didn't know Unity had the ghost template.
that's a little scary if... Yeah, I was going to say, like, if... Like, he would assume that because, like, we know now from like Cassandra Lee that Unity is an AI. It doesn't have a it's like a bigger version of what's his name was.
But it
So-
could be a ghost in the shell.
Fight a spider tank. Wait, we already fought a spider tank. Yeah. Yeah, but I think he'd say, I don't think it's a ghost. I think whatever this person was talking about is probably some kind of technology that Unity is sending out to kidnap people. Which, if that's happening, that's probably bad, right?
I mean, you just said a whole bunch of words I didn't understand, but yeah.
Oh, no, he was saying that to the party later.
No, the guy came with you. He thought he was invited.
His eyes glow red. It's Gearsman.
Oh, no.
Well, it's him, and it's android
He
name
takes
1.
off his hat of disguise, and he's a Gears.
You're just slowly accumulating townsfolks. There's a Skeezy Wonders over there, too.
Skeezy Wonders. Great.
Wandering off to talk to more strangers, Alwyn rolls a 7 on the die this time, which is awesome. So that would give me a 23.
Oh, that is once again enough to roll on the table.
That is an 80.
Dang, you're getting the high rolls here.
Is that all the weird info?
Well, on 80 you find a woman who's all like huddled up in robes, wearing a mask to keep the smoke out of her face, and she says, "I've heard that one of Starfall's nobles is supposedly looking to sell some kind of rare and powerful technological item at the next night market."
We'll definitely share that with Brixby
But
and
when?
Tarazi. Yeah, actually, yeah, that would be a good follow-up question. So, when is the next night market?
And she says, "Well, I'm not exactly the type who keeps track of that sort of thing so much. I'm not buying and selling that sort of thing, but if people are talking about it, it must be soon, maybe tomorrow night."
Are you sure it's not tonight?
This is when you tell her. Yeah, tell her you're not a cop. That's how that works.
Yeah.
You do have to tell me if you're a technically operative. If you don't, it's entrapment.
No, I'm not with the Technic League. Oh, so you're sure it's tomorrow night?
It might be tonight. Who can say?
Who knows?
Who among us? And she'll she'll say, if you want to check out, and she gives you like an address for where they normally are. She'll say, I don't know. They might be tonight. They might be tomorrow. It might have already happened. But if you try going there after dark, who's to say what you might run into?
Should we check out this address then?
Yeah, I mean, we should probably get a feel for it, but I think what we're looking for is kind of more ephemeral, so we may just need to kill time in another alliterative business or two.
Kira gets briefly excited at kill and then sad again at time.
But look, it's Tammy's time-wasting tavern. You love this place.
TTTs.
Like a stress room.
One of those
Go in
where you
and break
break
a bunch of
stuff.
TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a place called, like, Circuit City or something like that. And you walk in and you just get arrested. Because it's, like, tantamount to just admitting that you're going to buy electronics.
It's just a honeypot.
Yep.
Yeah, so do we just want to kind of whittle away the rest of the day until the night market and check out that, or do we want to check out the location while it's still day and see what kind of place it is?
Find out how many escape routes there are.
I think it's worth looking it over. Seeing if we, yeah. So let's do a walkthrough, like see how many people are there normally, if there's anybody that sort of sticks out, you know, yeah, kind of anything that we can. I think that's a good tactical idea. That's a very 26 int thing to do.
All right. While you're heading over to the night market, Alan, why don't you roll me a perception check?
Oh, no.
That is a natural 17 for a 17.
So as you're walking along and sort of pushing through the rather crowded streets of the Killbox, before you get over to the Grit Forge in a sort of better neighborhood where the night market is set up, just like as you're walking along, like a kid bumps into Alwyn, and just like, something about it just seems a little bit weird, and the kid disappears into the crowd.
Oh, he's gonna steal something.
Let's fight him.
Alwyn, check your stuff. And then we're going to try to pursue the child.
Yeah.
Brixby knows exactly what that looks like because that's how he raised himself.
Yeah, if I pat myself down, am I missing anything?
If you pat yourself down, you are not missing anything. You do, though, have an extra piece of paper just tucked into your belt.
Oh.
It's the old pocket pick as opposed to the pickpocket. They put something in your pocket for you to pick out.
He will, I guess he'll unfold it and read it, because I'm assuming it's a note.
It's just a quick little note that essentially it just is an address in the kill box, and then just the word M, or the letter M, by way of signature, and that's it. That's all there is to it.
Hey, Brixby, remember how you said if Mockery is able to find us before we find him, that we must be doing something wrong?
Yeah.
And he will hand the sheet of paper to Brixby.
Unsurprisingly, we're doing something wrong. We should probably get off the street and read this. Go to Furtive Frank's Fry House and Flapjacks.
Furtive Frank's Fry House and Flapjacks. Weirdly, it's not a restaurant at all. It's a bathhouse.
Yes, this is the perfect ambient moisture to read this note. Good, as it's dissolving.
Yeah, the note literally is just an address, which is difficult enough to interpret with the chaos that are the streets in Killbox. But it seems to be a location in the Killbox, and it's just signed M.
Seems like we have to go. I mean, worst comes to worst, Kira gets to kill something.
Yay.
Any concerns? Tarazi, you're kind of more militarily minded than I am when it comes to strategy.
Well, I suppose as long as we go in expecting a possible altercation, then at least we won't be caught unawares. Be good to not just walk in the front door of wherever this address is, but to at least get a feel for the location.
And on the scale of states in the American South, how big is the open carry culture with the little gear badges? Are people like, hell yeah, my Second Amendment chainsaw, and using it to open up food items? Or are people mostly just does it look like something you would keep stored and show later? Or are people proudly wearing these badges and technological items?
I think it's more of something that you would keep stored and show if you need it. And I don't think the neighborhood that you've been operating in, you would really see any of those badges just out and about. It's not really that kind of a vibe, but there's the occasional person who has some kind of machine on them, and you've seen businesses with machines incorporated into them, so obviously there's some tolerance for technology in the city. It seems to just be a matter of if the
Control, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably paying the Technic League to use it.
Makes sense. Quick check on, let's see, How to Disguise is Forever. How long have we been doing this? gathering information since we've basically, how long has it been since we've gotten into the city? Because I should check off castings of Disguise Self.
Well, the gather information roll came out to be 4 hours on my D4. So I'd say you've been in the city for a little over 5 at this point.
Alrighty. Well, perfect. That is 3 castings of that. It's so weird to not have to leave space for a floating disc. Doesn't feel right. I'm like touching the ground. My feet are probably so soft.
Nary a callus to be seen.
This is such a great place to walk on the ground.
So let's hit this address.
Well, it takes a while to find your way, as the presence of street signs is unreliable at best, but eventually you track down what you think is the place, a rundown and seemingly abandoned 2-story tenement building littered with trash and graffiti on the outside. Even though the kill box is kind of always teeming with life, like this seems like a quiet kind of corner very deep in this chunk of the city.
You two are big and scary. Do you want to go to the door first?
Kira looks at Tarazi. Do you want to thumb wrestle, or do you want to just go?
Before we go, I just kind of want to take a quick peek. Just kind of see if there's movement in the windows, that sort of thing. I'll just give it a quick perception. Yeah, it's only a 29.
Yeah, with a 29, are you like doing a loop around the building? You're just checking out the front?
No, if the urgency isn't there to just walk right in, then yeah, he would take a few minutes to loop around.
Scope the whole place out.
All right, are you attempting to be sneaky at all, or are you just walking around it?
I will give you a stealth.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
25.
It looks quiet. It looks fairly convincingly abandoned. You don't see any movement through the windows. You don't see any signs of burning candles or lanterns inside. And like all the rooms are like empty, broken furniture, tattered remains of like drapes and stuff. It looks like this building's been abandoned.
So yeah, Tarazi slinks back around and says, I don't see any occupants. Not that they couldn't conceal themselves with magic or technology, but I suppose if we check the front door for traps, we could knock or try the doorknob.
I defer to your judgment.
Does 49 get anything extra, Sam? Like any further reason we shouldn't open the door, I mean.
I don't think, given that Kira's specialization in perception is specifically in seeing things and like doing the special zoomy in goggles, that she picks up anything Tarazi doesn't.
Great.
49, she sees through the walls of the building.
Let's open that door.
Yeah, the door seems like at some point it was locked, but there's not really enough of the door jamb left to hold the lock in place. So it's kind of awkward opening it, but it doesn't really resist. Opening the door up puts you in like a hallway of a building that's been subdivided into lots and lots of rooms, but it is quiet in here. There are stairs leading up directly in front of you. There are doors on the right and the left, and beyond the stairs it looks like there are more doors, and there's like a hatch built into the floor that appears to lead down into whatever's under the building.
I'm gonna use survival to look for tracks. And only get a dirty 20.
Well, with a dirty 20, it is enough to see that the dust is fairly thick in most of the visible floor here. It doesn't look like people come and go through the halls much at all, but there are definite tracks from the front door to this hatch in the floor.
It looks like there's some tracks going to this hatch. Looks like I also see 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Perhaps someone was lost.
Someone comes running out of the woods yelling the numbers are bad.
Being chased by a smoke monster.
Yeah.
Which canonically exists in the Pathfinder universe. Thank you, Ruins of Aslan.
Tarazi will approach the hatch and check it for any visible traps. Get a 33.
Doesn't appear to be trapped. Does, however, appear to be locked from below.
Brixby,
Yes?
you're the more accomplished of the two of us when it comes to opening things that are locked. I don't see any traps, but this hatch is locked on the other side. Could you give it a whirl?
Happily. And you know it just makes me happy to do. Alright, that's a 38.
Yeah, this is a simple, conventional type of lock. Easy pickings for
DC 10.
for a lockpick of Brixby's renown. So Brixby is able to defeat the little iron mechanism in the hatch in the floor and release it.
Alright. I've learned my lesson. I'm not supposed to open things like this. It starts reaching and then pulls back.
Tarazi opens it.
Tarazi throws open the door, revealing a, one of those super steep sets of stairs that's like practically a ladder, but it's stairs that heads down into a fairly expansive basement that seems to stretch out beneath the entirety of this building, where there are lit candles. There are you can see like tables with supplies on them, bags of probably flour and various other things, and a few people milling about down below. And directly across from you, as you come down the stairs, is a Khalid-looking man with very short cropped hair, who has above his left ear, like part of the hair has been shaved away, and it looks like he has some kind of metal implant like built into the side of his head, and he gives you just a little bit of a smile as you come down the stairs and says, "You've solved my hatch puzzle. Just a little quick test. I've been expecting you. And I'm going to bed."
Good night, Sam.
Oh.
Good night, Mockery.
Good night, probably Mockery. Good night, Sam.
Hatchmaster Mockery.
Hatchmaster
Good night,
Mock.
Sam.
And good night, Alwyn's birthday.
Alwyn's birthday.
Good night, Alan's birthday.
Good night, Owen's birthday.
Hey, good night, Owen's birthday.
Good night, borscht cake.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by your own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
Recording. Voice. Record.
Waveforms. Coughing waveforms.
Waveforms.
Wave.
Forms that wave.
Forms. And I wave right back at him.
Mutually waving forms.
I can't see anyone but Jeff, so no one do anything exciting with your faces. Oh, I can hear you doing exciting things with your faces.
The one person who can't eat the cheese is the only face you can see. It's tragic.
There are like 3 people who can't eat cheese here, or who don't.
I was like, wait a minute.
I just choose not to eat it. I think that's the distinction.
Well, I was going to say, technically, Sam and Zach, I think, can eat cheese. They just choose not
I
to
eat a little cheese.
as a treat.
I haven't gone all the way vegan yet.
I mean, I shouldn't eat cheese, and yet I do.
It's good that we have a whole spectrum of cheese eating on this podcast.
I hope we have recorded spectrum of
Yep.
cheese eating. Because
I'm recording.
good.
Tarazi rolls a 10 for a 10.
Unfortunately, I don't think a 10 is enough. People are a little bit thrown off by the snakemen. They are not super willing to talk to you.
Yeah, listeners that aren't in our Foundry tier, quote, anyone can roll diplomacy. There's no penalty for failure, end quote.
Yeah, there's no penalty. Just sadness.
People don't want to talk to me. They're off put by the snake guy. I feel like I was set up for failure.
Oh, it wasn't a mechanical penalty. I didn't mean there weren't emotional penalties for failure.
Of course.
Your feelings can still be hurt.
Those are always in play.